What if I told you a state is trying to fix its population crisis dwindling by banning abortion at 6 weeks?
Yeah, you heard that right. Wyoming just passed a law that could shut down abortion access before most women even know they're pregnant. But here's the twist. Experts are saying this thing won't work. And the people leaving Wyoming, they're not leaving because of abortion. They're leaving because there's just no future there. So why pass this law? Let's break it all the way down. This is your news. Straight, no chaser.
All right, y'all, let's start at the top. Last year at the March for Life rally in Washington, D.C., and this was a big deal, thousands of people, Vice President J.D. Vance stepped up to that podium and said, and I quote, "I want more babies in the United States of America," and the crowd went absolutely wild. Now, that's not just a throwaway line, okay? That's a whole political movement. It's called pronatalism. And basically, the idea is this. America's birth rates are falling.
And that's checkmate.
We don't have enough young
finally
people
beat
coming
you.
up to take care of an aging population.
Oh, well
Somebody's
done.
got to
You
flip
played very well
burgers,
today.
pay taxes, and take care of grandma, right? So prominent conservatives, Vance being one of the loudest voices, are pushing Americans to have more kids.
And here's where Wyoming jumps in. The state just passed a law that bans abortions once there's a, quote, detectable fetal heartbeat. Now, hold up, because this is important. The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, that's the top medical authority on this, says it is clinically inaccurate to call that a heartbeat. At that stage, what you're actually detecting is electrical activity in cardiac cells. There are no cardiac valves. There is no actual heartbeat sound as we know it. That's science, not politics. That's just the facts. The law kicks in around week 6 of pregnancy. 6 weeks. A lot of women don't even know they're pregnant at 6 weeks. And just so we're clear, this law has already been temporarily blocked by a federal judge. But the legal fight? Oh, it is far from over. So here's the deal. The lawmakers behind this thing are straight up saying we need more people. Republican State Rep Evie Brennan, who is also a former nurse, by the way, said, and I'm paraphrasing here, "Children are the future. Without a growing population, Wyoming just becomes a stagnant, aging, dying state." Those are her words. And honestly, she's not wrong about the problem. But here's where it gets real. Suzanne Bell, demographer at Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health, says banning abortion is not going to transform a state's fertility patterns. Full stop. It's not a population fix. It's not a silver bullet.
And she's got receipts. Look at Idaho, Wyoming's neighbor, which put in one of the strictest abortion bans in the entire country back in 2023. Did they get more babies? Yeah, about 240 extra births. 240 in a state of nearly 2 million people.
That's not a population boom, y'all. Yes. That's barely a blip.
But here's the kicker, and this is the part that should make everybody sit up straight. At the same time those 240 babies were born, Idaho was hemorrhaging, and I mean bleeding out, healthcare workers. They now have 35% fewer OBGYNs than before the ban went into effect. 35%. Fewer doctors delivering those extra babies. You see the problem, right?
Now, let's talk about what's actually going on in Wyoming, because this is where it gets really interesting. Population loss in Wyoming has been a problem for decades, long before abortion bans were even on the table. Take Claire Lane, a senior at the University of Wyoming in Laramie. Purple-tipped hair, bright future, and she's looking around and saying there's not a lot of industry here. She plans to stay for grad school in speech-language pathology, but after that, she'll probably bounce. Her words, a lot of students know they might need to go somewhere else to find a job.
Then there's Aiden Freeman, second-year music student. He and his partner are already planning a move to Fort Collins, Colorado. He described Wyoming as, and this is a direct quote, very traditionalist and kind of a bubble. And that's coming from someone who actually lives there right now. Here's the data that hits hardest. A 2024 Harvard Kennedy School working paper found that by the time Wyoming residents hit their 30s, nearly 2/3 have left the state. 2/3. That is one of the highest outmigration rates in the entire country. And researchers say it's not about abortion. It's about cities. Wyoming barely has any. Young people want opportunity, diversity, creativity. They want bigger stages. Harvard's recommendation? Invest in rural areas. Make them economically diverse. Build housing for young people. Give them a reason to stay. Not exactly the 6-week abortion ban approach.
So, where does this leave us? Rep. Brennan, the same lawmaker who helped pass this ban, is actually admitting it's not the complete answer. She's saying the pro-life movement needs to start thinking bigger. In her words, not only are you important in utero, but you're also important on day one when you're born. She wants the legislature to have good, robust conversations about what long-term support for children and families actually looks like. Real talk, that's a refreshingly honest thing to say. Now, legally, on April 24th, a federal district court judge temporarily blocked the 6-week ban while litigation continues. That means, for now, abortion is once again legal in Wyoming after 6 weeks. But this is far from over. The case will work its way up, and it could eventually land at the Wyoming Supreme Court, which, by the way, already struck down 2 broader abortion bans in the state earlier this year. So the legal landscape here is shifting fast, and nobody knows exactly where this ends up.
All right, I got to be real with you for a second because that's what this channel is about. What you just watched is not really about abortion, it's about something deeper. It's about a state that's scared of becoming irrelevant, scared of watching its young people drive off into the sunset and never come back. And instead of building the kind of place young people want to be, with jobs, with opportunity, with a future, some leaders think the answer is to control what women to do with their own bodies. And here's what keeps me up at night, that 35% drop in OB/GYNs in Idaho. That's not just a stat. That's not just a stat. Those are real women in real emergencies with nobody there to help them. That's the part of the story that never makes the headlines loud enough. Wyoming is beautiful. Its people are tough, but tough alone does not keep the lights on. And it definitely doesn't bring the next generation home. So I will ask you the question nobody else is asking. What does it actually take to make a place worth staying? Because until politicians start answering that, all these laws are just noise. If this hit different for you, share it. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. And if you are new here, welcome. This is what we do. Real news, real talk, no fluff. Stay informed, stay sharp, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.